Yo, what's up guys, welcome back. So, Empty Jar. Oh, it has been years lost that I played this one, but I remember, I think this was exactly, more than 20 years ago. Empty Jar back in 2004-ish, featuring Morphing Jar, Cyber Jar, depends which particular Empty Jar version you are playing. It's a little bit more being adapted. It was adapted, is adapted to 2025, as you see. The main engines, I mean, with the most recent TCG ban list, you definitely have the option to go for 3 Jar, well, 3 Morphing, 3 Cyber. I don't think it's needed. Too many normal summons at the same time. But both the generic engines, looking at Fiendsmith, looking at K9, they are there for a reason, because nowadays everyone is playing so many hand traps that the K9 engine gives me some resilience to hand traps, looking at Ash, looking at Nip, to try to get your combo going, plus at the same time put pressure on your opponent. Here, not using Ripper's effect to negate Ash, we want to keep that for a potential Nip if it's there. At the same time, Fiendsmith is there because of one sole reason, because of the Borrelguard Dragon. Borrelguard is also an important key card, basically, for the strategy. And with our most recent TCG ban list, we got Lacrima back for basically any Fiendsmith card equals full combo equals Borrelguard. And at the same time, Summon Sorcerers. Summon Sorcerers with its pre-errata effect, it's still nice. By giving your opponent a flip monster, but because you know there are less hand traps or disruption cards that hit your own Morphing Jar, as in, if you give Morphing Jar to them, for example. We go for the second Ripper just in case. So here it is, Borrelguard. Borrelguard, as you know, it can reborn a monster that was destroyed in the same turn, so it basically reborn Cyber Jar, phase up, and basically it's a Book of Tayu as well, so it flips over a face down monster. So that's basically the strategy. The generic Morphing Jar decks, like back in the day, because you're playing back in the day, there were less hand traps, you had no Ash. You could go for like Dark World Dealings, Upstart Goblin, Spell Reproduction, Feather of the Phoenix, the OG FTK strategies. But nowadays, with people playing half of their deck hand traps, you just need more generic stuff, the standard stuff from nowadays. So let's see. Generic interactions. Book of Eclipse can be important. It's a board breaker, disruption, and at the same time it forces your opponent to draw as well, right? So that could be the extra necessary draws to give to them. And at the same time, if you're going first, if your opponent, most of the decks nowadays play the Charmies, Mulcharmy, Perulia, and etc. That's fine. They'll get a huge hand, and that's just, they're setting themselves up to get card destruction even more. Instant Fusion is ridiculous. It goes for Master of Ham, and Master of Ham immediately special summons one of the jars to the field. So now I thought I had game. Here, like, not going to lie, you have Fiendsmith, so we can now do so much. We get Ashed, which is fine still. We can go for Magical Stone Excavation and flip over the other one, being Cyber Jar. No, okay. We're keeping the thing is that I feel early game, Cyber Jar might be better because it could potentially give your opponent the hand traps. As you saw before, those were 3 draws. It was in the previous duel. Ashes, Failers, all the level 4 and lower monsters, hand traps, they will be special summoned face down. With Cyber Jar, that is. So let's see, we're still able to flip over Morphing Jar, finally drawing into any Izuna. Like, Izuna would have been fantastic. That got negated, but we can still go for the K9 engine, we go for Borrelguard eventually, and I think we're ending on our own Ripper as well, just in case, of Nip. I think an Ash has already been activated for them, so I was like, yeah, this is again perfect setup. We can go for a game, give them a Morphing Jar, flip it face over or face up with Borrelguard, let them draw. So let's see. I think we should have the game, right? We have card destruction set. The thing is that Cyber Jar, with Cyber Jar, you don't have to reveal 5. So if it's only like 1 or 2 for you, that's fine. Same counts for your opponent, but you need your opponent on 0 cards in a deck. And I still think Book of Eclipse also triggers during this turn, so that's already 3 face downs for them that will be flipped face up. We go for Feather of the Phoenix, we have card destruction still set, and I was like, yep, this is an easy one, we are having this, we are going to have this. Beauregard is not getting destroyed, we can only reveal 1 card for Cyberjar, that's fine, that's 3 cards for them face down. Book of Eclipse will be flipped face up and eventually in the end phase with card destruction. But they scoop, and I was like, no, don't do that. Unfair. It is what it is. Next on. There's a couple of examples of going second as well. We dodge Imperm. So, there are ways to dodge Veil or dodge Imperm. Crucial is, of course, Duel. You'll see in a few moments. Reveal Lurry, that's fantastic. Lurry on its own is again full combo into Beauregard. Them having monsters helps out as well. It can shuts down Charmies, shuts down more Imperms. Let's see. Here again I have game. If it wasn't for the nib there in hand, I would have had game. Fairly certain. So Lacrima, obviously they will be nibbing, yeah. Obviously you can't risk Caesar even though it's not there. Obviously because we know the strategy. So now we can sadly no Izuna to punish, so we have to go for normal summon Yoko, which kinda hurts because you want to keep your normal summon for a jar, for example. So go for Ripper. Now we are safe for more hand traps. And I think we are committing Ripper to the Beauregard, I think. Or not. Yeah, we are. Yeah, which is unfortunate. So let's see. Yeah, because of Jar, right? Cyberjar is eventually going to destroy the Ripper, so that's iffy. Morphing Jar, on the other hand, doesn't do that. It keeps the Ripper on the field. Anyway, so reveal Morphing Jar as well. A couple of cards for them. Null Charmy on their field. That's nice. Again, blocks Imperms, etc. And I was so sure that I had this one. Card destruction for a lot of draws for them. Draw the Book of Tayu, yeah, we stack that one on the top of a deck, get back card destruction, go for a big card destruction, sure they're chaining the Bestials because they will draw less cards, but the problem here is that I'm running low on cards as well, with in hand that is, and Yoko in hand is not the one I want to have, but I was like, we can still flip over Morphing Jar and have the game. They have Ash. I mean, fair enough, like, Veiler also would have been games. No Book of Moon to chain, but the one-off hand traps, right? Well, like not one-off, but you know what I mean. The last one, almost so close. Going second is a bit different, but I mean, K9 helps out with going second. Fiendsmith does its job going second. We have board breakers with Eclipse. I guess you could go for Mild Charmy as well. 3 Mild Charmy in the main deck. If not, definitely side deck with Dark Ruler if you know you're going second. But fair enough, like this particular board is almost fairly a standard generic board for Vanquish Soul in today's format. But again, I was slow. Look, give them random Cyberjar, and I was like, yeah, this resolves. Okay, they don't have Ash, otherwise they would have Ash the Mimigul card. But they do have Ash, and I was like, oh man, really, otherwise the board would have been wiped. And I honestly would have had a chance. It's always those one hand trap, right? That one hand trap. Let's see. Again, going second, Ryzeal. Ryzeal is fine, but there is one hand trap lurking in the hand there. The thing is that... that's why I like Cyberjar early on. It puts their hand traps on the field. But at the same time, Morphing Jar might be crucial as well by replenishing your hand always. So it's give or take, but I feel early on, Cyberjar is a bit the better one, but the Mimigul card is random, so... And yeah, against like Detonator, Ryzeal end board, Book of Moon, Book of Eclipse are fantastic. Puts everything face down and you can still, pump out stuff. So let's see, you draw Cyber, so that's perfect. Our hand is actually, again, perfect, even going second. So we force out Detonator because of Eclipse, their Eclipse that is, and we chain Eclipse now. So that's 2 important key cards for the strategy already gone. We can go for Izuna, potentially, looking at Troll, looking at hand traps. But, they also have traps on their own, back row of their own, so now we go all in. Cyberjar resolves, but we revealed 3 Feather, which is unfortunate as well, but they have Troll. Troll is, yeah, I mean, against Dark World as well, very similar. Like 3 hand traps on their field, insane. But Droll just kills it. And we drew Instant Fusion, right, for Master of Ham. And I think they had multiple Book of Moon, so... so it feels... like this. I like the strategy. Nowadays, MD Jar for 2025 and on, I don't feel the strategy from back in the day with all of those spells, Dark World, Dealings, AD Changer and so on, you know, the cards here in the extra deck are example side deck. I don't feel that strategy anymore, but sure, it's Fiendsmith, sure, it's K9, but it gives the deck more tools, more easy Boral Guard and so on. So, okay, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Riddim signing out. Peace.